All right, everyone. Today we're going to look at something very important in English grammar, countable and uncountable nouns. This is a key topic at B1 level, and it will really help you speak more naturally and correctly. First of all, remember that nouns are words for things, people, places, or ideas. For example, apple, teacher, city, love. Now, in English, nouns can be divided into two main groups, countable nouns and uncountable nouns. Let's start with countable nouns. These are nouns that we can count. For example, 1 apple, 2 apples, 3 apples. You can see that they have a singular form and a plural form. So we say a book or 2 books, a coin or 3 coins. Because of this, we can use numbers with them, and we can also use a or an. For example, I have a coin in my pocket, or she bought 2 books. Also, countable nouns can use singular or plural verbs. For example, the book is old, or the books are old. Now let's talk about uncountable nouns. These are nouns that we cannot count individually. Many of them are things we cannot touch, like ideas. For example, love, freedom, education, information. You can't say 2 loves or 3 informations. Other uncountable nouns are substances or materials, like water, rice, sugar, gold, glass. These are made of small parts or are seen as a whole, so we don't count them one by one. We also have uncountable nouns for some types of food, especially when they are not in pieces, like bread, cheese, meat, or fish. For example, we say, I eat bread every day, not a bread. Liquids and gases are also uncountable, like milk, coffee, air, smoke. And materials like wood, paper, and steel are uncountable too. Now, here is something very important. Some nouns are uncountable in English, even if they are countable in your language. For example, information, advice, money, furniture, luggage, news. We don't say an advice or 2 monies. Instead, we treat them as singular. Let's look at the rules for uncountable nouns. First, they only have a singular form. We don't add "es." So we say rice, not rices. Second, we don't use numbers directly with them. We don't say 1 rice or 2 waters. Third, we don't use a or an, so not a water, but just water. But don't worry, we have a solution. When we want to count uncountable nouns, we use expressions with a of. For example, a glass of water, a bowl of rice, a piece of advice, a sum of money. This helps us give quantity in a natural way. We can also use words like some, any, a lot of, much, and little with uncountable nouns. For example, I have some money. She doesn't have much information. There is a lot of traffic today. Now let's connect this to vocabulary about money, which is usually an uncountable noun. We say money is important, not money are, but we can talk about parts of money using countable nouns, like coins, notes, or a penny. For example, I found a coin, or he paid with 2 notes. We also use expressions like a sum of money or a lot of money. We have many useful words with money, like salary, tax, loan, tip, or fee. For example, she earns a good salary, or he paid a fee at the bank. As verbs, we can say pay, charge, owe, or rent. For example, I paid for the ticket, or they charge a high price. And adjectives like inexpensive, valuable, or financial help us describe things. This watch is very valuable, or that restaurant is inexpensive. So to finish, always ask yourself, can I count this noun? If yes, it's countable. If not, it's uncountable. This will help you choose the correct form, articles, and expressions.